Pulse 95. Between local lines, notes from the Emirate.
Yes, notes from the Emirate indeed. His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Muhammad Al Qasimi, member of the Supreme Council and the ruler of Sharjah, dedicated 4 rare manuscripts of the Qur'ans and parts of them dating back to different and ancient periods, actually to the Holy Quran Academy here in Sharjah. So these manuscripts, they are considered among the most valuable archaeological treasures that are added to the holdings of the Holy Quran Academy, providing visitors and academic researchers with the opportunity to view them, learn about their history, and also conduct studies and research about them. Now, the first manuscript is actually very rare. It's a rare copy of the Noble Quran from the Al-Khanid period, dating back to the 7th century. This copy was actually attributed to the famous calligrapher Yaqut al-Musta'simi. And the manuscript was actually written in large thuluth script with gilded decorations and decoration from lapis lazuli, including the Persian translation of the Quranic words as well.
That's right, and the second manuscript is a very rare one dating back to the 2nd century. This was written in the undotted text and contains parsing marks in red ink in the form of small round dots. It does not contain commas between verses as well, while the third manuscript was written on deer skin dating back to the Abbasid period, estimated between the end of the 2nd century and the beginning of the 3rd century, with using the old diacritical signs that were used by Al-Khalil bin Ahmad al-Farahidi.
Yeah, there's also the 4th manuscript. It contains 2 books written in the year 780, having a decoration with lapis lazuli. And one thing I would like to suggest is for people is to, if they are here in the Emirate of Sharjah, haven't been to the Holy Quran Academy, immediately add that to your itinerary, because it is a marvel. It is a great place to explore, and if you want a bit of a visual experience of what it is like, then on Pulse 95 Radio's YouTube account and Instagram account, we've uploaded multiple videos, and they show the grand architecture of the Holy Quran Academy. And literally, when you do go there, you can easily spend 2 hours mesmerizing and also catching up with some of the most fantastic exhibits there. My personal favorite is the kiswa that is present in one of the rooms, and that dates back to the 10th century Hijri as well.
It's incredible seeing how well preserved these documents are as well. The manuscript house, they have special laboratories where they sterilize, restore, and process these manuscripts and documents. And these rare historical manuscripts, the majority of them come from His Highness the ruler of Sharjah's personal collection, who continues to donate to the Holy Quran Academy and the House of Manuscripts as well. So truly an interesting place to check out.
Definitely is, and it is located in the University City area. The best way to go there is you book an appointment, and then you call them up, ask for a specific appointment, and say, okay, you know what, you're going to turn up and check out the place. But really, it's such a great place to go down and explore. Moving on with the plan of the program, we've got a big discussion about Her Excellency Sheikh Abudur Al Qasimi's book, and stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis. It's the Morning Majlis.
Good morning and welcome back on to the Morning Majlis. We're going to be talking to you about the big development here in the Emirate of Sharjah. Now, we've all been to House of Wisdom. We've all been a big fan of our books, and Her Excellency Sheikh Abudur Al Qasimi, and she has now made a pledge that she is donating the proceeds of her latest book towards rebuilding a library in Gaza, and she is the president of the International Publishers Association, founder and CEO of the UAE-based Kalimat Group. They've announced the entire sales of their latest work in children's literature called World Book Capital will be donated towards the rebuilding of Samir Mansour Library, a bookstore in Gaza. And Her Excellency Al-Qasimi also thanked readers of the World Book Capital for their vital role in rebuilding the initiative, and announced Samir Mansour Library and the bookstore as the beneficiary of the book's first edition sales proceeds.
That's right. And the book itself, called World Book Capital, had been launched at the 12th Sharjah Children's Reading Festival, a compelling narrative introducing young people to the cities that have won the coveted UNESCO World Book Capital title since 2001, and among those is the Emirate of Sharjah. Samir Mansour, founder and owner of the Samir Mansour Library and beneficiary of this initiative, said, quote, "We are grateful for the support of Sheikh Abu Dur, founder and CEO of Kalimat Group, towards our rebuilding efforts. We believe in the power of books to empower generations, and I hope that such initiatives will enhance knowledge resources in the community and protect our collective identity and memory as we build a better and brighter future for our country."
Yep, it's all about the belief in the power of books to enhance knowledge resources, and that's a statement that's come out from Samir Mansour, who is the founder and owner of the library. Now, the library was founded 21 years ago and contains over 100,000 books in various languages, covering everything from philosophy and history to fiction and children's books as well. So the library had been damaged during the recent crisis, and we're hoping that this new donation is going to revive the library and also reinstate the love for literature in that part of the world. Stay with us in the morning Majlis. There is lots to get through this morning. We'll be back again right after the sports headlines, in fact, courtesy of Iman Al-Majali, and we'll be talking to you about the big launch of the humanitarian Sharjah initiative, as well as the voluntary work that hundreds of people here in the Emirate take part in. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis. It's the Morning Majlis.
Let's talk real estate. Aldar Properties, which is Abu Dhabi's biggest developer by market value, is launching the third phase of Yas Acres development, and it continues to expand its portfolio amid the strong demand for the prime residential properties and recovery of the UAE's real estate market as well. Now, Aldar will release 312 new villas and townhouses in its Yas Acres, the Magnolias development, and it will be available for purchase by all nationalities starting from September 4th, according to what the company said in a statement yesterday. Now, the new units in Magnolias, they're actually being offered for sale after Aldar finished the construction on redwoods and also aspens and cedars, the two previous phases of Yas Acres.
Yeah, and interesting looking at the overall picture for UAE's property market. We're looking at a solid growth trajectory right now. It's marching ahead, in fact, despite challenges posed by COVID-19. That's what the analysts say, that the UAE's real estate market is still surging in the second quarter of this year, with some segments, in fact, seeing double-digit growth in sales prices. That's according to the UAE Real Estate Report by property management experts Astico, which said that villa rental and sales rates in Abu Dhabi and Dubai are surging, with sales prices in certain segments expanding by almost a quarter within the period that has been reviewed.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see and look at the property markets here in the United Arab Emirates. We've got plenty of other projects here in the Emirate of Sharjah. We've seen how Al Mamsha recently launched a new building, and Al Jada also announcing announcing new projects within the Al Jada community, as well as their projects in the Siyuh neighborhood of the Emirate. Speaking to a couple of the developers, they've all said that property market is going to revive the economy here in the United Arab Emirates, particularly in line with the famous Expo 2020 happening in October, which kicks off on the 1st of October. In fact, we're only a few weeks away now, and it is exciting time for the entire country for sure. One thing that I've personally observed is when we see the surge in real estate market is the amount of WhatsApp messages and calls I receive from random agents trying to sell me the goods. And I say, you know what? I'm okay because I have a holiday home in Khorfa Khan, so I don't need your project. And this is how I respond to them. And then they think...
But you don't.
Maybe I do.
Maybe you do.
Oh, there we go.
Let's expose you on air.
Yeah.
I've been getting those calls too, like 10 times a month or something. Just someone from a property company and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, we get something for you," and it does get
Really,
annoying.
I never get those calls. I feel left out.
I think it's because we're seeing a lot of kind of value for money deals spring up left and right.
Yeah.
So I slithered around for a while asking around for property prices and such, and that's probably how my number ended up somewhere.
That's true, yeah.
But it's also a sign of the times, I think, because of COVID-19, there's sort of an opportunity there. You could smell it. And the vacancy rates are elevated, so people are sort of on the lookout for flexible landlords and owners for good prices and such. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've seen, according to analysts, why real estate has been on the up, is because there's so many flexible plans, a lot of vacancies, discounts being offered, incentives, and just people looking for value for money type deals. And that's sort of brought things to life here.
What's interesting is the as you mentioned, the payment plans. And, when we talk about the world of property and you come up to people such as ourselves, working normal jobs, even though radio can seem to be extraordinary, it is a normal job, and people turn up and say, you know what, I've got an exciting payment plan for this house, pay me 25% down payment on a villa worth 2 million dirhams, and you're thinking, that is a lot of money just to pull out. But now what people are doing is saying, pay 5% down payment and pay 10% every 6 months.
Yes.
And by the time you hit 50% of your payment due, which could be about 500,000, could be, just 1 million dirhams maybe, you can mortgage that amount and then ask for a bank loan. And this is where it gets interesting. When things are slightly low or the interest rates are low, bank loans are very attractive, but the banks become even more hesitant to give you a loan. So it's a bit of an interesting work of negotiation, I'd say, and it'll be very interesting to see how more and more property owners or people or young people will be joining or climbing the property ladder. But do let us know on the text line 4215 if you are planning on climbing that property ladder, because another interesting point to consider is you might think of investing in a villa now, for example, but 10-15 years down the line, the building becomes obsolete or becomes old or classed as old. How do you pull your investment out and how do you work with it? So this is a very interesting observation that I'm sure a lot of you will have your own opinions. So do get involved on the text lines.
Sell it after 5 years.
There you go.
Rania's Real Estate Management. We have that over here on the Morning Majlis as well. So do text us to get some real estate advice. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. Up next, we talk to you about the travel advice as well on the Morning Majlis. And it will be all things IATA. You're listening to the Majlis only on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95, and a very warm welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. Now, one of the reasons why people love getting vaccinated or have been getting vaccinated as well is because it gives you
travel.
The license to travel, of course. And the big challenge is that you'll be happy saying, I've got a vaccine certificate, I'm amazed and I'm happy, and I'm going to travel on board one of the planes and then land in whichever country I plan to do so. And then the worst thing that you can expect is that country says, I do not recognize your vaccine certificate. And you're thinking,
That's a nightmare.
why did I go through the hassle? Yes, I'm here to the vaccine was there to protect myself, but my dream and aspiration of being able to travel was dashed. And this is why the World Health Organization wants to develop a digital vaccine standard, something that IATA believes would make travel easier and help the industry to rebound. Now, when I tested this on my recent travels to Europe, I actually carried my physical COVID-19 certificate issued through or printed through the Al Hussein app. And that was my vaccine certificate flag. The only time I had to show that was when I was boarding the planes. Apart from that, I was never asked for a vaccine certificate when I was out and about, walking in the streets, going to the supermarkets, going to restaurants or wherever, which is great. So that kind of gives you the hope that it is going to be normalized. But certain countries, such as the UK, does not accept the vaccine administered outside of the EU, outside of the UK, or even outside of the US, which is frustrating. And we only hope that this app becomes the norm, and it also accepts these certificates issued by the UAE.
Yeah, I mean, this thing should simplify and make it easy for people to comply with health requirements among travelers all around the world. We've also seen that Saudi Arabia is also one of the first countries to accept the IATA Travel Pass. So how exactly does the IATA Travel Pass work? Well, according to IATA Senior Vice President for Operations Safety and Security, quote, COVID-19 vaccination certificates are becoming a widespread requirement for international travel. Travel Pass is an important step forward, providing convenience for travelers, authenticity for governments, and efficiency for airlines. The World Health Organization has yet to develop a global digital vaccine standard, and that's something that IATA feels would make travel easier and help the travel industry overall make that rebound. So is this something we'll be seeing more of? And it looks like countries here in the region are also adopting this. UAE, both Emirates and Etihad are already using this IATA Travel Pass app.
Yeah, and if you have this question, why is it needed? Why is this global digital vaccine certificate needed? Well, they're saying that the absence of a global standard makes it much harder for airlines, border authorities, and governments to recognize and verify a traveler's digital vaccination certificate. So the industry is working around this by developing solutions that can recognize and verify certificates from individual countries. And it's a slow process that is hampering the restart of international travel, but it's an ongoing one. But as more states roll out their vaccination programs, many are urgently looking to implement technical solutions to provide vaccine certification for their citizens when they travel. So in the absence of a World Health Organization standard, IATA urges them to look closely at the EU digital COVID certificate as a proven solution that meets the WHO's guidance and can help to reconnect the world.
Yeah, this is going to be something that we're hoping that will come about soon, and we'll definitely keep you posted about this as well. And should there be any changes and any updates about the world of travel, we'll definitely discuss that on the Morning Majlis. And if you would like to drop us a text and inquire more, you can do so on the 4215. And up next, it's going to be the business headlines, courtesy of Emmanuel Majali, and then we talk to you about the strategy, the COVID-19 strategy that New Zealand had initiated and what's been the backlash as well. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.